¡Ay, ay, ay, ay! Estamos aquí en Mexico, tierra del sol. Viva, well, no, we're still on the United States side. We're in San Isidro, the community that is at the border crossing between San Diego and Tijuana. And all along the border, you will see these money exchange houses, Casas de Cambio. And this is very similar to what's going on in the stock market, folks. In the second and third presentation, we talked about the capital markets, the New York Stock Exchange and the NASDAQ, and then the over the counter, wrong side of the tracks exchanges. And we discussed transactions. And we said, look, you see one price when you log into your internet website or log into your brokerage firm. But no, there are dozens of prices at any one time. And this is exactly what's going on with the money exchange houses. Now, these are showing you what they will buy and sell dollars and pesos. And one of the first things you notice is that many of the places are owned by the same company. I mean, here's ABC, and there's what, 1, 2, 3 places from ABC. Well, that's another place from ABC. Here's Baja Mex, and there's 1, 2 here. But in reality, there's about, I don't know, 12 or 13 Baja Mexes in San Isidro. And notice that they're all competing against each other. Here, this company here, this one here, ABC, will give you 19.099 pesos if you give them $1. But if you want to convert your pesos to dollars, then you're going to have to pay them 19.179 pesos. Do you understand? How does ABC Money Exchange make money? They make money off the spread. They are dealers. They are market makers. Notice that all these say no commission, no commission. You know, we're not brokers. We're not stockbrokers. We are dealers. We are market makers. Now, some places, I didn't take a picture of one of them, which was really dumb, Piano. You will see prices that are higher. And you'll say, well, my goodness, I want to go there, right? Not necessarily. They will charge you a commission. And if they charge you 3%, that's a pretty big amount. So you have to be careful, right? You usually, as far as I'm concerned, and I've used these places for many years, you're better off with the places that have no commissions. And this ABC and Baja tend to have the best prices, but I'm not trying to, sell these places. I'm not getting any kickback. Here's a place that's not associated with either of them. That's right by the trolley station. And here's a place that has a drive-through. On the right, you'll exchange money, and on the left, you can buy Mexican insurance. So notice these numbers. Notice how close to one another they are. The spreads are relatively very narrow. We're going to see some spreads that aren't very narrow. And this is on the United States side. Watch what happens now when we move into Tijuana. All of a sudden, the amount of pesos they will give you for dollars drops. And this is typical. I don't know why. Very rarely is it the same. And once or twice I saw it more in Tijuana than in San Isidro. But also notice that they will charge you fewer pesos to buy dollars. So if you want to change your dollars into pesos, it's better to do it on the United States side. If you want to change your pesos back into dollars before you come back, if you're visiting, it's better to do it on the Tijuana side. In general, that's been my experience. Now, notice, these are two different OXXOs. Look, they're competing with one another. They want your business, and they know you might have dollars and not pesos. So, yeah, we'll take your dollars, but notice this OXXO is only going to give you 18 pesos per dollar. And this OXXO, right around the corner, by the way, and there's OXXOs on every corner in Mexico. Notice there's a whole lot of 7-Elevens now. 7-Eleven's trying to get in on the act. They'll give you 18.75 pesos per dollar. So this is exactly the same kind of thing that's going on in the stock market. One dealer is going to give you a better price when you buy and sell as opposed to another dealer. Now, how do you know this is going on? How do you know? The answer is you really don't. You just don't know what's going on. In fact, the Securities and Exchange Commission, as we discussed in the one presentation, is having a hard time watching these people over their shoulders because it's happening at the microsecond level, millions of transactions a day from these high frequency traders. And oh, by the way, if you do give them dollars, they're not going to give you dollars back in change. They're going to give you pesos back in change. Typically. Now, slide number 3. When you go to an airport or a bank, they will typically give you very unfavorable exchange rates. Look, this is in the Tijuana airport. Roughly the same, within this, I think 2 days. I checked, or a day. Notice, they're only going to give you 18.065 pesos. Yeah, like the one OXO, not a very good exchange rate. Plus, they want 19.59 pesos when you change your pesos back into dollars. But notice, no commission. We're not going to charge you commission. And this is very typical at tourist locations, airports, banks. They know that they can do it, and so they do. They hit you with a huge spread. This is why many people will they recommend that you use your ATM cards when you go visit another country, because the banks will give you the very good exchange rate on your ATM card. Where are they going to hit you? On the fees, right? Some of the banks, well, I have a lot of experience with Mexican banks. They'll charge you up to $8 or $9 in pesos for an ATM fee. Now, there's one bank in Bursa, which is very reasonable. I forget what it used to be 17. Now I think it's 19 pesos, which is about $1, which is not bad. But some of these 8 or 9, HSBC, Santander, oy. And then the bigger banks in Mexico, like BBVA, which used to be Bancomer, it's about $4. And then, of course, your bank is going to charge you an ATM fee, which is why what's very popular now is Schwab. And I didn't believe this when I first heard this. They will give you a very good rate of exchange, like most banks will, but they will then not charge you an ATM fee, and they will rebate whatever fee you were charged by that bank anywhere in the world. And I didn't believe this at first. I didn't believe it. I called up Schwab and said, "Do you really do this?" And they said, "Yeah." The guy said, "Yeah, we do it." I said, "Why do you do that? I mean, aren't you losing a ton of money?" He goes, "Well, look, we could spend a ton of money building our own ATM network. So why not we just use everybody else's and pay them?" I thought, oh, I guess so. You think they could probably get a better? They probably do. They probably don't pay $9 a transaction. They probably with the very expensive banks, they probably have to cut some deal with them. Now, this place is when we talk about the red light district for some of these over the counter, the bulletin board, the pink sheets. Here it is, a red light district. This is right by the area, right by the cathedral, if you can believe it, where all the paraditas, the zona tolerancia is. And notice what they're going to do. Oh my God. They want 19.45 pesos if you want to buy dollars, but they will only give you 17.099. And someone told me, because they're trying to confuse people, that they think the O is a period. I don't think so, which would basically be 18, right? 17.99. No, this is 17.099. So you see that? This is what's going on at the bulletin board in the pink sheets. When you think you're getting a good deal on those penny stocks, no, you are not getting a good deal on the penny stocks. It's only 7 cents, but when you go to sell it back, they'll only give you 5 cents for the thing. So right off the bat, you've lost 20-some percent, 25%. You think you can beat these people at their own game? No. If you don't know who the sucker is at the poker table, you ever hear this saying? If you don't know who the patsy is at the poker table, the patsy is you, and that's what's going on in the when we call the wrong side of the tracks, the bad side of town. That's that the penny stocks on the OTC bulletin board, over-the-counter bulletin board, and what they now call the OTC market group, but everyone still calls it the pink sheets because that used to be published on a newspaper that was pink. So this is definitely something you want to avoid. And it's even worse than this, right? 18.065 pesos for a dollar, 17.09 pesos per dollar. Now, this company has been around for decades, and it's right on the walkway that used to be home to a sea of gringos coming to Mexico, and that it's basically deserted now. But notice that they have a decent rate of exchange, but what you don't see, and it's doesn't show very well, is cobramos comisión. We charge a commission. So they're not only acting as a dealer, they're also acting as a broker. This is perfectly legal as long as it is disclosed, right? Your brokerage firm could also be acting as a dealer, and usually it'll say something on the ticket, which is now electronic, sent to you. This we have that. It'll say there this transaction we acted as not only a broker but also a dealer. And notice that they will also buy and sell euros. Now this is, I don't know what happened to it, but I think it's 15 and 22. Right? You give them a euro, because usually the two numbers are over here and the two numbers are over here, but somehow the 5 got moved over. You give them a euro, which is about $1.10, $1.15 now, I think. They'll give you 15 pesos. But if you want to change your pesos back into euros, they want 22. Yeah, that's what goes on the OTC. So don't think you can beat these people in the penny stock world at their own game. They've got you already. They've got you before you come to the table. Notice, though, they've branched out. They will cash your checks, especially for people who have been deported from the United States, who grew up, basically, maybe children grew up in the United States and now they were all of a sudden told that they have to leave. It's very sad. So, but other people are, jumping up and down and screaming and hollering and saying they all should go home. And I wish they wouldn't do that to me, because my grandparents came here, 100 years ago. So maybe they decided that 2 generations isn't enough. You have to be here at least 5 generations. So we're going to deport millions of people. All right, I'll shut up. Anyway, now we hope you have a pretty good idea of what's going on in the stock market. Even though, the spreads are very, very low, they're still there. And that's how the dealers make money, from the spread. The brokers make money off the commission. But now you say, but my broker doesn't charge me any commission. Wrong. What's happening? The dealers are kicking back some of that spread to the brokerage firms. So don't believe that you're trading for free. I hope we've impressed upon you that you're not trading for free. Don't think like Robin Hood wants you to think. Go ahead, trade to your heart content. No. Questions, thoughts, ideas, you know who to contact, dear students. We are so very proud of you. And by the way, if you do want to travel south of the border, Tijuana or wherever, I love Mexico. Ask me any questions. There's some phenomenal restaurants. And I'm actually, believe it or not, this semester teaching in Tijuana. And the students, I told them, my favorite taco shop is Las Tres Salsas. You guys got any better? One woman said, that's a pretty good taco shop. The other woman said, oh, we know much better shops. I said, okay, well, send them to me. Thank you so much for being in our class.